professional officers didn't want to be Army pilots because they thought it was a blind alley, and I didn't plan to stay in anyway, so I just wanted to fly, and I was going to learn to fly and get out. Got to Fort Jackson, clerk told me, he said, "Lieutenant, you can put in for it. I've never known anybody to get it yet." I said, "Well, maybe I'll be the first one." I can remember reading a little story of the flying circus when I was in about the second grade. And I was just seeing the airplanes fascinating.
For centuries, man gazed up at the flight of the bird in helpless envy. How easy it seemed.
We saved up our money down at Fayetteville, across from where the Methodist College is now. Roy and I went, it cost us $1.50, which didn't sound like much. It's probably a day's wages. And it just went in a rectangular pattern around the airport. It seemed like it was over in 5 minutes. And but it gave you a little feel for what it's like.
We have learned, too, that the cost of defending freedom, of defending America, must be paid in many forms. Unassisted, Vietnam cannot, at this time, produce and support the military formations essential to it. Military, as well as economic help, is currently needed in Vietnam.
By 1960, every area of life in the South has become a combat zone. The answer to that call is prompt in arriving.
Got a set of orders. Came in through official channels that I was assigned to Vietnam to the 3rd Radio Research Unit. I wasn't sure where Vietnam was. I went to the globe or map. That was in 1962. The first tour, they really weren't out to kill us. They were trying to keep a low profile. The second tour, they'd be happy to take you out.
Direct from our newsroom in New York, this is the CBS Evening News with Walter Cronkite.
The enemy in Vietnam is all too often invisible, striking without warning from the shadows. But tonight, the face of the enemy in rare films of the Viet Cong in action.
This is propaganda film, properly heroic as propaganda film should be. But under the layers of singing warriors marching gaily to battle, there are also some truths about the enemy in South Vietnam. Some truths about the kind of enemy which uses as weapons the terrain and the night and the weather, which has proved that sampans and even, in some circumstances, bicycles can be used to better effect than tanks.
That was not under constant fire, and there was no front line, it could be anywhere. You ride a bus into town, they'd have chicken wire on the windows so that somebody couldn't throw a grenade in. You just never knew. Shoeshine Boy might be a Viet Cong plant, but it might be a good guy.
Firing from unseen positions in the forest. The communist sources who provided this film say this is the wreckage of an American helicopter shot down 1 month ago, January 9th.
When we go out with the Mohawk at night, we go down in the Delta and patrol those rivers, try to keep them from infiltrating with weapons. And we used to discuss, said if we have to eject, we'd rather eject over the VC's territory or go out over the South China Sea, and that way they got sharks. There was no correct answer, just take your choice.
The heavy-duty flying train, which can lift loads up to 10 tons.
They might need a supplies dropped in, a generator. We did, carry in a generator for them, things like that.